So finally, Queen gets his due on the big screen. Let's do this. And with that, I welcome you to another episode of The Romancer. My goal, as always, is to enhance the movie watching experience. So Bohemian Rhapsody, this movie seems like it's been in development for ages. It finally gets made here. Of course, the biopic really about the band Queen, one of the best and most creative and unique bands we've ever seen, and chronicling their, from the beginning all the way to their legendary status here, culminating in the Live Aid event back in the 84, I believe, where they literally upstage every major artist at the time in front of 1.5 billion viewers. Now, I will say this, as a Queen fan, this movie is great. I loved this movie. It's so much fun, so entertaining. Not perfect, and I'll get to as why. But the music on display here, it's front and center. It's showcased the way it's done, the way it's dropped in. The certain songs work perfectly. I mean, the music is so iconic. I mean, so many great songs that decades later, people who may not even be familiar with the band just know about. And that even towards the end, when they had that scene, that concert event at Live Aid, I got chills, goosebumps. That scene is worth the price of admission alone. It's phenomenal. But besides all that, the reason why this movie really, really works is Rami Malek, who was cast as Freddie Mercury. Of course, he's probably, in my opinion, probably the greatest frontman in rock and roll history, one of the greatest voices, if not the greatest voice in rock and roll history. He's this guy who is unique, just such a sensational performer, and Rami Malek crushes it. He is fantastic, and this movie works because of him. Otherwise, it would have failed if not for his performance. Here's an Oscar-worthy performance, and if you guys are familiar with him, he does really good work, particularly in Mr. Robot and USA. And here, this is a career-defining performance by him. This is going to be, it should be an Oscar-worthy performance. Whether he wins or not, we'll see. But he's fantastic. He embodies Freddie Mercury. People who are familiar with him, you see him on screen. At times, you kind of forget that it's an actor. It's really him, and just his movement, especially doing the concert showings that they have. It's fantastic, the work that he put in behind the study, this great performer. But besides that, he does a great job with the quieter moments here. Freddie Mercury is a guy who is very mysterious, kept his secret, his name, his background very secret, his sexuality, and of course, eventually the illness kept that a secret, which inevitably took his life. And there's so much to this character, and Malek brings this swagger that Freddie Mercury was known to have, this confidence. He's having so much fun here, and he's wonderful to watch. He's absolutely fantastic. Don't get me wrong, the rest of the cast is great too, particularly Mary, who plays his longtime ex-wife and best friend, life friend that he had. And you know, it's such a fun, entertaining ride. It's so well done as far as a Queen fan, learning more about the music and how they created some of these iconic songs like Bohemian Rhapsody, for example, and how that got to be made. And it's just fascinating to see. You actually learn a lot of things about the band itself. And I will say this is, as a biopic, I mean, a biopic will be worth to you as much as you're vested in the subject. Who the subject is about. So as a Queen fan, as any Queen fan, this is a must watch. You run to the theaters. It's that good, entertaining, just for the music alone and for Malek's performance. If you're unfamiliar with Queen, you like biopics, it's from that standpoint, taking my fandom away from the subject, from Queen itself, it's a by the numbers biopic. It is. It's to some degree, not only goes as far as it's superficial, but it scratches the surface of some of the deep, dark stuff that's behind Freddie's life. And yes, this movie does a good job of trying to balance the band Queen and Freddie Mercury, but it's hard not to focus on Mercury. He was the star of the show, if you will. And their interactions are great. You can tell it's kind of surface level, very glossy. And this was almost like all those appetizers at a restaurant. You get a little bit of everything. And that's what you get with Freddie Mercury's life, a little bit of his issues with his sexuality and his relationship with Mary and his battle with AIDS. You don't get a deep dive into any one of those. It's not a dark movie. It's a feel-good movie. And that's fine. I get it. And I wasn't really bothered by that. Some may. Looking for something a little more dark, a little more intense, look elsewhere. This is a movie about the band, celebrating the band's success itself. And it's well-deserved. This is one of the most creative, unique bands we've ever seen. If you guys are unfamiliar with it, I can harp enough to go check out some of the music. And I guarantee you know some of the music. Some of the anthems they have, like We Are Rocky, We Are the Champions. Of course, everybody knows those. Even they may not know who sang them, but they know those songs. They've heard them before. And this movie has this on display. It's great. It's fun. It's entertaining. The interactions are great. It's a long movie, but well paced. And the ending alone with the Live Aid concert is worth the price of admission alone. Goosebumps, guaranteed if you're a Queen fan. If you are run to the theaters, watch it. If you're not a fan of Queen, I recommend it anyways. A lot of good entertainment value here. This will probably end up being one of my favorites of the year. It's that good. It's that fun to watch. So comment below, let me know what you guys thought. And of course, if you haven't done so already, subscribe below and feed my need to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. See you guys next time.